The views and opinions expressed by the participants on this show are not necessarily those of Stewart Information Services Corporation, Stewart Title, or Stewart Insurance. Before you make any investment, you should seek the advice of your investment advisor or attorney.
Whether you're a real estate broker, realtor, homeowner, buyer, or seller, everything matters when it comes to real estate. This is Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. Stewart Title's Bill Napick and guests open the door to what really matters in owning, buying, and selling real estate. And now, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title, brought to you by Stewart Insurance. Here to inform, entertain, and inspire, Bill Napick.
Welcome to the show. It is Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title, show number 470. We have a terrific group here today, so we're going to get started right now. I will tell you, go to stewart.com/radio. This is a show you're not just going to want to hear, but you want to see it. And you could do that by going to stewart.com/radio. That takes you to the YouTube channel. You will see the tremendous guests. We're going to get started right now as we welcome Brooke Thedford. She is with eXp Realty. Brooke, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Bill. I'm so glad to be here.
Isn't it fun? It's fun already, and we're just getting started.
We are. We've had a lot of fun things already happening this morning.
We already had a pre-show, and here we are doing the real show right now in the fourth largest city, Brooke.
I love it.
So let's tell people, first of all, your company is eXp. Let's tell people about it in case they've not heard.
Yeah, so I'm branded under Thedford Real Estate Group, brokered by eXp, which is really cool because I'm able to brand myself under my last name. And I've been in real estate for about 5 years and have loved every minute of it.
Thedford, that's a great name. People could remember that. Let's tell people the area geographically that you're focusing on.
Yeah, great question. So I'm born and raised in Houston, and I was born in Cypress, went to high school out there. I lived in Katy for a while. My husband and I moved to Pearland about 15 years ago. He got on with Pearland Police Department. And so that's where we live.
They're going to say the Pearland Police got a hold of him or something.
Yes.
But he is in the police department.
He's not anymore. He's retired. But that's what brought us to Pearland. Oh, there we go. There goes my mic. And so I really work the entire Houston market. I live in Pearland, so I really work Pearland, Friendswood, Manville area. But I do have geographic knowledge in Cypress and Katy, and I've had one of my biggest listings in Galveston and had one of my biggest buyers north of Conroe. So really, I have the knowledge to do it all, but I do live in Pearland area.
Well, let's tell people, as we're mentioning Pearland so much, we don't get to talk a lot about it, but people love Pearland. Give us an idea. What are some of the attractions there that people, when they say, I'm going to live maybe this area or that area, but they say, I want to go to Pearland because...
Proximity to downtown, proximity to medical center. You can get, with the 288 expressway, you can get to the medical center in literally 9 minutes. You can be downtown in 16 minutes. And so there's really not a better commute when it comes to wanting to work in downtown, when it comes to wanting to work in the medical center, but actually living in the suburbs. Pearland is by far the best area to live for that reason.
So as far as, let's just take again the Pearland area from a market condition standpoint. How's the market there right now?
Market's fantastic. It's always hot in the Pearland area, and we're seeing that it's really heating up south of that as well. In Manville, we have a lot of new communities coming up, Pomona, Meridiana. There's just so much growth in that area. We have Manville Town Center coming up. So really, whether you're looking in Pearland, Friendswood, even further south, it is a great place to be. And man, those property values keep rising, which is great news for us.
Meridiana, have you sold homes there?
Absolutely.
And I remember being there when they first opened up and started. They used to have, in both of their developments of Meridiana, they used to have a Labrador Retriever as their mascot. Do they still have the Labrador there?
It's still there. It's going to be hidden by a lot of the other things that have come up and a lot of the really cool amenities, but it's still there.
That was a good idea from a marketing standpoint.
Yeah, you bet.
What's the price points there in Meridiana? Because that is a nice, very nice.
So it's going to range from around $350 upwards of $800,000. So you're really going to see a range depending on the builder that you're looking at.
And when we think, we'll call that new construction.
Yep.
There's still new construction in Meridiana, but what other new construction choices do people have there in the Pearland area?
So Pomona is going to be another big one. That's just north of Meridiana, and that's going to be, now that price point's a little bit higher. You have Toll Brothers and Perry and some of the other really nice builders in that area. So that's going to be upwards of $1 million, depending on the property that you want there. And
you smiled when you said $1 million.
Yeah. We like to hear that in the real estate world, but
Yeah.
really we just want our clients to be happy. That's what it's all about for
At
me.
any price.
Yeah.
You mentioned you love the profession.
Yeah.
You're in it 5 years. Give us an idea. What is it you love the most in this profession?
Yeah, I really, truly love helping people. I was in insurance before I got into real estate. I ran our family insurance agency, and I was able to help people then, but from home. So I have 3 daughters, raised them until they got to school age. Yes, 1, 2, 3, count them. And I really wanted to be able to meet people and see them and see their faces, and which I wasn't able to do when I was in insurance. And seeing someone come to me and say, hey, I have an issue, I need to sell my home or I need to purchase whatever it is, and getting them from point A to point Z, and then the relief on their face when that we actually accomplish that goal, I can't tell you what that feels like. It's worth so much more than the money that's made. Now, don't get me wrong, I have to, support my family, but
3 kids.
Yes, but the feeling of helping that family accomplish their goal is truly priceless.
The real estate professional anywhere, Houston, any other state, city, needs to have a lot of tools in the tool belt. Technology. We've never had technology like it's been in 2023. I mean, think about 10, 20 years ago. But here we are. The technology that's available, it can be overwhelming. Give us an idea how you use technology, and some of it, I mean, there's only so much time, and you have to be decisive about and strategic about which tools you use, whether it's technology or anything else. How do you, Brooke Thedford, use technology?
That's a great question. And honestly, Bill, what I do is I really tailor it to my client. So I have clients that are very technologically driven, and they can access any property. They know how to do it all. I don't really have to show them how to do anything. And then I have some that still want to sign the dotted line with a pen. And so I really tailor it to what my clients' needs are. And the HAR app is amazing. Stewart Title has a great app as well that we use. And so really, whatever technology my client needs, I'll really tailor it to them. But as you know, it's really limitless with the possibilities and what technology has brought us.
And when you're not in Pearland serving buyers and sellers, where else do you go? Or where were you recently?
I travel a lot for our daughters in their sports. We were actually recently in Puerto Rico for a volleyball tournament, and so that was a blast. My daughter's 18. She's going to be playing volleyball in college.
That's your oldest daughter,
That's
right?
my oldest
We'll tell
daughter.
Listeners, yeah.
Yeah, and so she's 18. She's going to be playing volleyball in college, so we were able to go to Puerto Rico. And this profession is great because you do have to be available 24/7, but you can also be flexible. And so I really try to make sure that I'm always available for my clients and stay flexible, and they're flexible with me as well. So it's a really nice trade-off.
So here we are. The year is already fast. We're already talking about Easter, right? All these things are happening. What's the outlook that you see as far as what you're feeling from the people you're talking to, other professionals in the business? How do you feel it's going to go? I mean, we hear interest rates are going to go lower, they're going to go higher. What do you think is going to happen in the business?
Yeah, it's a great question. So we definitely had a pause in the market from around August, September to say November, December. And then we've really started to see a rise again. Inventory is still low. You're still going to hear that a lot. And so it is still a good time for sellers. Buyers, though, we are starting to see sellers, make some adjustments and negotiate a little bit. So I don't know. We're not going to have the market that we had last year, which you're not going to have to pay $80,000 over to get a home, but you are still going to see some competition. So great time for sellers just because we do have buyers out there. Buyers, great time too. Our interest rates are settling a little bit. So I would just say don't be afraid. If you have a need to move, go ahead and make that move. Don't wait for the market to be absolutely perfect. There will never be a perfect market. So if you need to make that move, do it now.
Are you helping, let's say in the last month, 2 months, are you helping more buyers or sellers?
In the last 2
50-50?
months, I would say I've helped more sellers sell.
More sellers.
Yes. So the buyers are kind of still trying to figure out this new market with the interest rates and everything, whereas some sellers are saying, hey, I understand it's still a good market for me. Let's put my home on the market. And we have been very successful with that.
And when you're helping buyers, are you helping anyone from out of the state of Texas?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We are helping buyers from California, Oregon. I had a buyer call me the other day from Michigan that's moving this area. So this area is booming. So it's a great time to be in real estate here.
It's the first time I've heard about Oregon
Yes.
recently. We hear about California all the time.
Yes. Lots from Oregon. Yep. I have a whole family coming. Their sister, mom, dad,
The whole thing.
Let's come on.
How did they find you, Brooke Thetford?
Facebook, actually. Yes, it was a mom's group. They posted on a mom's group and said, hey, I'm looking for a real estate agent in the area. And I had a good friend that introduced me. And thankfully, it's been a great contact because they've been an amazing family.
Now, have they purchased the home already?
They've purchased. They've sold. They've purchased. They have another one that's purchased. So, I mean, this
They're
has
still
been
in the Houston area.
Yes, this has been a 2-year period, and it's been pretty great.
I always want to know when people move to Houston, what they think. What were the comments when they first got here and you're there? Well, how do you like it and everything?
So they actually loved it because they were tired of the cold. They were tired of the snow. And apparently there it's really dreary and gray. And so when they got here, they just said it's so bright and there's lots of palm trees and there's trees to look at and vegetation. And I'm like, well, I'm born and raised here, so I don't know any different, but they have loved every minute of it.
Well, Brooke, before we close this segment, what else do you want people to know?
Man, I'm happy to help no matter what I can do. And like I said, I work the entire Houston market from Galveston to Conroe to Katy to League City and would love to work for you.
There may be someone listening in Oregon right now, somebody else that wants to be here. You can help them.
Absolutely.
Indiana.
Yes.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
How can people reach you?
You can text or call me 832-477-1775. You can find me on Facebook, Thetford Real Estate Group, Instagram, Thetford Real Estate Group. I try to stay super active on social media and just really appreciate you having me. It was a blast.
The phone number again is
832-477-1775.
Very nice. Brooke Thetford.
Thanks, Bill. I appreciate it.
As we continue, it's time to talk to Faye Powell. Her company is called Red & Company. Faye, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, Faye, first of all, the name Red & Company, that's a new one for me. Let's tell people about your company, but also where did the name Red & Company come from?
So I've been in real estate for about 22 years. About 10 years ago, I started my own brokerage firm, and it was called N610 Properties. And so clientele grew over the years, and we expanded outside of the 610 loop. We needed to rebrand and went with an old family nickname. We have Red & Company.
Red, so that's a family nickname,
It certainly is, yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's tell people, as far as the geographic focus of your work for helping buyers and sellers, what area do you work the most?
Well, like I said, we started in the N610 inner loop of Houston, so we certainly still do a lot of that. Montrose Heights, any of the surrounding areas, Galleria, where we are today. Do have properties over in Katy, Cypress area, Spring area, and we definitely do a lot down in Galveston now.
And of course, you reside in Galveston, the area, right?
Yes, I moved down to Galveston with my husband about 2.5 years ago.
Well, we hear so much about Galveston, and we hear about people that move there, and they really like it.
Oh, yeah.
Give us an idea, that just from a person that now is a resident of the area, what is it that you like about Galveston? And people that hear our show, I know, especially outside of Houston, their ears perk up when we say Galveston. Tell us about that.
Well, I mean, doesn't it sound nice to live where you vacation? You know, you move to a lovely beach and you just don't want to leave it, so you make it work. The opportunity to work remotely is a big thing for people these days. So we've seen a massive influx of people moving to Galveston area. And the surrounding areas like Bayou Vista and Tiki Island and even Clear Lake and Kemah, all because they can work from home and spread out on the beach.
So as you're helping, let's say, people that are moving to Galveston like you did, what are the areas that they seem to be like maybe the top two most popular?
Well, so Galveston is a peninsula, right? It's a long barrier island. So you have the west end and you've got the east end and everything in between. But I tend to find people tend to gravitate toward one or the other. So west end, you can spread out, have a little bit more land, have your multi-story beach house. And it's a lot more quiet out there, except for obviously around summer vacation and spring break when you get a lot of vacationers coming in on the Airbnbs. And then the east end is closer to downtown Galveston, the Strand District, where you have a lot more to do, more shopping, more restaurants, that kind of thing. So it just depends on what your priorities are as far as how you want to live in Galveston, because you do have options that way.
So as far as, and you've been in real estate for, again, how many years?
22 years.
That's a long time.
That's a long time.
So what is it about real estate that keeps you in the profession?
Honestly, matching people with their next phase in life. That's a big part of the gratitude and the what motivates you to keep doing it.
It's important work.
It is very important work. It's usually the largest investment a family will make for themselves.
So that's awesome. As far as the market as you see it right now, and again, let's take Galveston, because that is a unique area. Mm-hmm. When you look ahead to the rest of the year, how do you see the market being Is it a healthy market or?
Well, we're good, but we're not great. And actually that works for both Houston and Galveston. We saw such an influx and such an increase in buyers, and then obviously listings and sellers going at high prices last year. The rates going up and inflation are certainly causing a cool off in the market. So I think the February numbers for Galveston and Houston were roughly the same, about a loss of about 23% of sales volume and dollar volume. But the good news with that is that prices will come down. Consumers who are still wanting to consume or still able to consume will come in and will buy houses. And it's a great investment opportunity. And we have a lot of investors coming into the Gulf Coast.
And are you helping more buyers or sellers here, say, in the last 2 months?
50-50.
50-50.
Yeah, it's been about
That's like
50-50.
one of the Seinfeld episodes. He said, even Steven.
That's right, even Steven.
So, yeah.
That's right.
Awesome. So as far as let's talk about the sellers for a minute. When you're helping a seller, again, we'll take Galveston. How are you coaching that seller right now in these conditions to say, and I don't know, what would be a average price of a home that you might help them? 600,
Anywhere from
500?
probably about that. We'll say
Because
that's
it's a little on the higher
average.
side.
Yeah, it is a little
So
on the
let's
higher
take.
side.
I have a $600 or so $1,000 home and I want to sell it. I say, hey Faye, I want to sell my home. How are you going to coach me during this?
I think a lot of it has to do with preparation of the house and having it look, clean and ready and presentable. A lot of the buyers that are coming to Galveston are looking for vacation rentals or even maybe a second home for themselves that they can potentially rent out. So having it feel when you walk into the house that you've got that beachy, relaxing vacation vibe right when you hit the front door is extremely important. So sometimes we need to do a little bit of staging or even change some funky paint colors and make it more of that living by the beach vibe.
And you know what I'm thinking, as far as we do talk about home staging all the time, and that's certainly recommended, but I'm thinking the staging at a home in Galveston might be a little different. You're putting some different things up in there.
For sure. Well, you want to have, usually in the spare bedrooms, it makes sense to have bunk beds. We got lots of bunk beds on the island for those guest weekends that come in and that sort of thing. Definitely very cozy, family-oriented living room spaces so people can crowd around and watch TV when they get back from the beach. So, yeah, it's a slightly different vibe.
And I don't know. My son is a full adult right now, but I think children, they kind of like bunk beds, don't they? There's
They love
something
them.
about the
I
bunk
know,
bed
I
that looks
know.
like it's a fun
They have
thing.
no concept of falling off of them at all. It's
But
great.
the parent does. It's just like, it is kind of scary to think,
That's
what if someone falls out?
But it's fun. But it
they're
increases
cute
your
and great
occupancy.
staging, I
That's
think.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
You were going to say something. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just saying they're very functional, especially when you're looking at having lots of guests over. We like I said, we're an island, so we're limited on land. So as many guests as you can squeeze into,
That's
into
right.
your guest room.
Sometimes I forget Galveston is really an island.
It is.
For real.
It is, but it's a barrier island. It's long and skinny. It's not like, the big island in Hawaii, which is round and you can drive around it pretty successfully in a short period of time.
So when you're not helping someone with real estate, say in the Galveston area, what's the most recent other area that you've been here lately?
We've been doing a lot in the League City Pearland area. And then my agent in Houston has been very active in the Midtown and Montrose area a lot lately, and the Galleria. Those have been his big.
So what's happening in the Galleria? What feedback are you getting
A
from
lot
these
of the
agents?
townhomes and condos, the older ones.
there
some of
are
the
a lot
60s
there.
And, there's
Yeah.
a ton of them. 60s and 70s ones, all but down Bering and Augusta, that sort of area.
There's a zillion. I went through Fountain View this morning.
Yeah.
And I, yeah.
And those are good investments because they're not huge properties, but you've got a great location. So you can buy a relatively small, relatively affordable townhome or condo there, a little bit of renovation, you've got a nice home, and you're right walkable to a million restaurants and world-class shopping.
It is a great location.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of them. Montrose. Tell us about Montrose. What are you hearing there?
Montrose is an ever-evolving mosaic, I tell you what. It's still got a lot of the older homes, older bungalows. It's still got a lot of that artsy vibe to it. But we've got a ton of $600,000-$700,000 new construction patio homes squeezing in there. Oh,
construction.
yeah, lots of it. And resale, recent construction.
Let's take the resale. Do you have an idea what the price points are there in the Montrose area?
A lot of them are in the $600,000 to $700,000 now and climbing. So depending on how large of a square foot we're talking about, you can easily do a $1 million patio home. Easily.
So I'm going to guess, correct me if I'm wrong, $350,000 in Montrose.
That's a tight budget. It's
that's not
doable
gonna
though.
work.
We'll make it work. We'll find it.
But it doesn't sound. I think I need to have more money. It sounds
It
like
would, it would help. It would
500's
always
better.
Having more money always helps, Bill, especially in the real estate market.
I like that. We're going to quote you on that. That is going to be the quote of the year. Having
got
more
it.
money always helps.
My pleasure.
And you know what? One of the things I like to say, we hear real estate professionals say real estate location.
Absolutely.
I say money.
There you go. There you go. I agree. I totally agree.
So give us an idea of some of the other things that people should know. Let's take either your choice, social media or technology. Your company, Red and Company.
Mm-hmm.
How do you all use social media? Let's say, does it help?
Yeah, it absolutely does. Depending on how you're looking to get your clientele or how you're looking to get leads, if you will. We found Facebook especially to be really immensely helpful. One of my agents is very good about posting consistently. So I pretty much have him as an admin on the Red and Company Facebook page. That way he can post whatever he needs to do. And he gets great feedback and a lot of exposure. That's really the big thing for him is exposure.
So that's
that
a
way.
good thing.
Yeah.
Interest rates that you hear about when you're working and your clients are working with the mortgage professionals out there, what are some of the things they're saying? I mean, no one can see the future, but I'm always curious to hear how the mortgage people are talking to realtors and what they're telling them and their clients to expect. What are you hearing?
The Fed meets tomorrow, and based on my understanding from most of the economists I've been listening to, they're expecting the rate to go up again, probably about another 25 basis points. So what most of the lenders that I've spoken to or my clients have been speaking to have been encouraging them to do is even though the house prices are relatively high right now and they're going up, they're continuing to go up, that getting the mortgage when you can get it and locking in that rate now as opposed to waiting and sitting on the sidelines where the prices are not going to come that much down and the rates aren't going to go down that much for a while, that now is really still a very good time to buy if you can do it.
Now is a good time to buy.
It is. I mean, it's the inventory is increasing slightly. We're not quite into the summer market, so my goodness, if you can get in there before May and June when all the kids are out of school and everybody's really hot and heavy to move, then do it.
Sounds good to me. Faye, before we close the segment, what else you want people to know? How can people reach you?
You can text me or call me at my number. That's 832-654-3293. Again, 832-654-3293.
Faye Powell. The company is Red and Company. That's easy to remember,
It
Faye.
sure is. It sure is.
Part of the design, eh?
You can see me coming a mile away.
Very nice. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Let's talk about home warranties. We have two ladies here, Cheryl Pyle and Morgan Waters. They are with a company called 210 Home Warranty. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having us.
First of all, let's tell people, we'll start with you, Morgan. Let's tell people about 210.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, for 210, we are a company out of Colorado. That's where our corporate offices are. And we are celebrating our 23rd year this year in business. Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. 43rd year in business.
43rd?
It's 2023. That's what I keep thinking. 43rd anniversary as a home warranty company. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And we actually started off 210. The name 210 is a name for home warranty. If you don't know, 2 years mechanical and 10 years structural warranty.
Well, that makes perfect logic. That's awesome. So, Cheryl, let's tell people about your role with the company and the area that you cover.
Absolutely. Hi. So I have north of I-10. We divide Houston by I-10 naturally. So I have out to Katy, up to Huntsville, over to Kingwood, the north area, and Morgan has the south.
Well, give us an idea as far as you mentioned areas and Morgan's in the south. As far as areas, it makes me think now, are there some areas that always want to get the home warranty versus others, or is it do you see any trends as far as the area is concerned?
We call it our network. So we have a network of contractors, and so we cover the systems and appliances in the home, and we have a very good network here. So we kind of stay where the populated areas are. If someone's out in the outskirts, I'd say if you have to drive a half hour outside, 45 minutes, check with us to see if we have that network contractor. But
I mean, are home warranties more popular in Katy versus or not? Or they're just even? What do you think?
I think it's genuinely agent education. It's the agents that are bringing us the business. We really thrive off of our relationships with agents. So if an agent is educated and educates their buyer on a home warranty, that's where we see the home warranty. So I think all over, I don't think there's an area that's more consistent than others. It's more about the agents that are consistent in offering.
So your area is south of I-10.
I am south of I-10, yes. So everything's south. Galveston, all the way over to Crosby, Mont Belvieu, all the way west to Wharton, Needville.
Well, the home warranty, there's so many plans and several other companies out there. Give us an idea of the distinction about your company, 210 home warranties. Or is it 210 home buyer's warranty? I'm looking at your shirt.
210 home buyer's warranty.
Either way, though.
So we started, as she said earlier, as a structural warranty company. We are the only home warranty company in the business that has a separate division for builder side. So that's where we started, is the builders division, and we're on the realtor side of the business. So we're the only home warranty that does that. Also, we are 1 in 5 homes in the United States is covered with a 210 home warranty.
1 in 5.
Correct. And when I started with them 8 years
share.
ago, it was 1 in 7. Now it's 1 in 5.
So you're all doing a tremendous job, and probably that growth's all in here in Houston.
A lot of it is in Texas, actually, and Houston. Yes, we have reps in other areas, but exactly. Houston's growing.
So as far as the other distinctions, the 210 home warranty, part of your job, as you mentioned, is, Morgan, you were talking about instructing agents. A lot of what you do, and correct me if I'm wrong, is out there in the real estate community talking to agents so they know the distinctions and...
Absolutely. A big part of what we do is we partner with our great title people, with our agents, with our mortgage lenders. It's genuinely educating them on what we offer and just the risk management tool that a home warranty is. We want them to understand that it is part of risk management during that transaction, and it keeps the deal typically moving forward, and it also keeps them out of what we like to call E&O jail. Like you see E&O insurance claims go up, and if there's not home warranties attached, it can be a big problem.
Well, the home warranty, I think, is very important. However, do you ever find where people have so many, when they're buying a home, there's so many things that are on their mind. They're moving trucks, the home's got to be ready to sell, there's a detail here, kids, and all these things. Do they ever forget about the home warranty? You have to remind them.
Absolutely, yes. We get that, many times they go through a closing and they realize they don't have a home warranty attached. So we work with our agents, we work with our clients too. We want you to have that home warranty. God forbid you closed and you forgot to get your home warranty. We still want to protect you and cover you. So we always work with our people, but it does happen. It does happen that it's the last thing on the list sometimes. And our great escrow officers are scrambling to make sure a home warranty is attached at the last minute. But we're here for that. Cheryl and I are always here to help, and we make that as easy as possible.
And tell us about the different plans, because you usually have different plans, different levels. If someone has a pool, no pool, extra coverage, minimum coverage. How does that work, Cheryl?
Sure. Yeah. So actually here in this area in Texas, we have 3 plans. We have our simple plan, which just covers hot water heater, air conditioning, refrigerator. Is our core product, but it is, if somebody just wants to get those 3 items covered, it's the most affordable. And then we have our standard plan, which adds in some other coverage and the plumbing and the appliances. And Supreme is what we recommend is our best coverage. And it's the least out of pocket for a homeowner. So after closing, the expectations is what they're looking for, the coverage. You mentioned swimming pool, roof leak, all of those are buyer's options that can be added on. And they have 30 days from closing to upgrade their warranty.
So then if I'm thinking about every penny and I'm buying the home, I'm going to at least for sure get some kind of home warranty, but I have the peace of mind knowing that, hey, I can't decide right now, too much money's going out, but once I get settled, I get the home warranty, maybe the medium plan, I could add the pool within 30 days. That's a nice feature.
Correct. And we also have buyer's payments, which we just added with this new product this past year. Instead of paying full, which we had for 42 years, now we allow buyer's payments because people were overpaying. They couldn't afford it, but we wanted to help them out, help the buyers. So we're offering buyer's payments, and they can make a monthly payment now. So it's very easy.
And what about new construction? Are you providing warranties to brand new homes?
Yes, absolutely. We have a whole division that does new construction, and we have some great people here in Houston that really work hard with our builders. We personally work with our builders to make sure they're referred out to the right people to get those new construction warranties. We do our own personal new construction warranty, which is fantastic. So let's say one of your homeowners is buying a new construction home that's already going to probably have a structural warranty on it, right? They can also add a new construction warranty with us, and their home's going to be covered for 3 years for the price essentially of 1 year.
All right, here's another question. As far as forget about buying a new home, whether it's a previously owned or a new construction, What if someone's listening out there and they already have their home, they're not going to buy or sell, they're going to stay in that home? Do you provide coverage for the existing homeowner, if that's the right term?
We do.
I had a feeling, but I didn't know.
We do, yes. We've been speaking about our Realtor product that's offered through our Realtors, but we do offer what we call a DTC product, and it's direct to consumer. So we are in that market, and if someone wants to go on that, they can definitely go on our page, 2-10.com, and get a quote for that.
I like the whole idea, 210. It has a nice rhythm to it.
It does.
Huh?
It does. Definitely.
So as far as what you do as representatives for the company, give us an idea of the day-to-day. I mean, a day in the life of Morgan. Give us a quick word.
Day in the life of Morgan. Wow.
Day in the life of Morgan.
Day in the life. No, we joke. We really, we love our jobs. We love our company. And we love our partners. Genuinely, that's what we do. We're here to create partnerships with all of our real estate professionals. You guys see I'm from the south of I-10, so we do cover areas. We network with all of these great people. I would say probably our strongest partnerships are our title people. These are the guys that touch that transaction from the very beginning to the very end. And for us, that's important because we're essentially right smack in the middle of that transaction. So our title reps, our escrow officers, our business development team, we're always there to help them.
And I would assume you give presentations to groups of realtors.
We do, yes. We do a lot of education.
Give us 10 seconds of your presentation.
Ooh,
let's say here we
Cheryl,
are. You're
you
in
want to do
front
a
of
10-second presentation?
just you don't have to complete it, but let's say here we are in front of a group of people, and it's like, okay, and today we have Cheryl with 210. Hey, Cheryl.
Hi there. Cheryl Pyle here from 210. Nice to meet you. 210, yes. We're on the radio, so you can't see what I'm doing here with my hands. I'm here to just let you guys know what makes us different at 210. We're very transparent, and that's one thing we like. Our service agreement is easy to read, easy to find. I know sometimes it's hard to find out the coverage, and expectations are everything. At 210, we put most of our money into our air conditioning coverage. That's the big ticket item everybody wants to cover.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we're unlimited refrigerant at 210. We SEER match, which is a huge thing. If you don't know what SEER means, it's Seasonal Energy Efficiency Rating. And we cover, and so that is huge in the air conditioning world right now, with people not having $7,000 to $7,000 to put out for a new system.
Okay, so that was great. Now I know your presentation would be longer than that, but that's how you start out. You're talking about the things that are unique, and that's very interesting because you give a lot of those presentations, right?
We do.
Okay, so before we close the segment, let's tell people, Cheryl, how they can reach you. We're talking with the representatives of 210 Home Buyers Warranty. We have the representative, Cheryl. She is north of Interstate 10. Cheryl, let's tell people how they can reach you.
Sure. I cover out to Katy, as I said earlier, up to Huntsville and over to Kingwood area. And my phone number is 346-455-7620. And it's Cheryl with an S, Pyle, S-P-Y-L-E, at 2-10.com. And Morgan, I'll let her give you her information.
And yes, Morgan,
so,
south of I-10.
South of I-10. My phone number is 832-654-4198. And I'm not going to dare say my email. You can just call or text me because it's very long.
Your number again is?
So what is it? 832-654-4198.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so
And
much.
I will tell you what we say at 210 is long live happy homes and smiles are on the house.
It's always great to have Stewart Associates on the show, especially when they're escrow officers and branch operations managers. In fact, today we have the legendary Tara Hobbs. She is the branch operations manager in our Pearland office. Tara, welcome to the show.
Hey, Bill. How are you doing today?
Isn't it exciting that you're here today?
I'm excited for where we are today. So
Let's tell people where we're doing this show. Go ahead. I mean, because you got so excited when the other studio kind of broke down, but here we are.
We're in the Walton and Johnson studio.
How about that?
I know.
And you're big fans.
Very much.
Let's tell people about your office in Pearland, Texas.
In Pearland. I've been with Stewart Title 17 years, and the last 7 years I've been the branch manager. I've been in Title for 20 years total, and I've been with that same Stewart office in Pearland for that 17 years I've been with Stewart.
You must know the process. And the other thing, every transaction is different, right, Tara?
Everything's different.
So look how much you learn. And when someone closes with you, Tara Hobbs, they have access to that experience.
They do. We do a lot of classes at our office, and my most favorite thing to tell agents, because agents have choices wherever they want to go. Different title companies, we all offer the same thing. What sets us apart from other title companies is our wonderful customer service and our willingness to be the partner with them during the transaction. My job is not to sugarcoat anything. We are the direct to the agent, what is happening, where we need to be, and be able to set realistic expectations for the file, which helps those clients on the back end.
That is so important, so profound, the word partner, because you are a partner. We are partners with them as they go through the transaction, and the transaction can have so many twists and turns sometimes.
Yes, it's a choose your own adventure book.
Choose your own adventure. And the other thing that I admire about you and others in your role, escrow branch manager at Stewart Title, is how do you pull all the details in the transaction together? Because there are so many. It's voluminous.
Yes, but I have a great team. It starts from order entry. We get everything entered into the system. My processors are hands down phenomenal. I have an open door policy, so any questions that need to be asked, if my door is open, come and ask me. There are no dumb questions because you're going to learn it for next time.
Now, if I'm driving in the area, and can I come in?
Absolutely.
Your door would be open to even me.
Yes.
That is good
But
to know.
I have a couple of doors in between that, so we do
okay.
filter.
All right. Well, I'll be ready for that. Give us an idea what you love so much about what you do. 17 years, you must love what you're doing. Tell us about that.
I actually really think that our relationship building is the best. We've had a couple of real estate agents on already today for this show, and the growth and development that we have with our relationships with those real estate agents, that is my favorite thing. I like all of the detail-oriented aspects of our job, but also the fact that we get to put happy homeowners in houses. And we also get to help those people that are moving on finish what they're started.
So many details. You're putting it all together. Tara, before we close this segment, what else do you want people to know?
Just come and find us. We don't, if we're not your choice, if we're not the one on your contract, give us a call. We'll help you anyway. If you have questions, if you don't want to ask your closer at the closing table, but you have a question, don't be afraid to give us a call and ask us. We'll help you. I like to say that we'll be your mustard. Mustard is the number 2 condiment. I don't need to be the first person on your list, but if you use me enough, you're going to like me. I promise.
It's the number 2 condiment.
It is. So we'll be the number 2 people. I'll be your number 2. That's fine.
That sounds awesome. Tara Hobbs, Pearland office, right there. And by the way, give us a quick word on the market as you see it from the escrow officer's perspective.
We are getting busier. We are absolutely getting busier. We are getting contracts left and right, day after day. We come back from a weekend, we've got 5 or 6 sitting in our inbox just to get going. And that's just over the weekend. So we are seeing a lot more increase in the contracts. We are seeing more and more contracts be more solid, I would say. Back when the market was booming, we had several contracts that would fall away. Or a buyer would choose a different house and they would cancel the contract to move on to another choice. Now our contracts are being very solid and we're seeing them go all the way from start to finish without those ones that kind of just don't make it all the way.
Thank you so much, Tara Hobbs.
You're welcome.
Let's tell people the office if they want to reach out to you and bring their contract to Stewart Title in
Absolutely.
Pearland. How do they reach you?
Our phone number to the office is 281-412-6900. He's showing it to me now.
Again?
281-412-6900.
Tara, thanks for being with us.
Thanks.
If you're a real estate professional, then listen closely. Cyber criminals are targeting our industry. They are impersonating real estate professionals, homebuyers, sellers, and title agents. Their goal is to gain access to your inboxes, computers, and clients so they can steal information and funds. Does your business insurance offset these risks? Not sure? Contact Stewart Insurance to determine if your business is properly insured. Visit stewartinsurance.com or call 866-798-2827. Visit stewartinsurance.com or call 866-798-2827.
Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title would not be possible without our partner, Stewart Insurance. With a focus in real estate and a special focus on real estate brokers, Stewart Insurance creates insurance plans to address the risks facing our industry today. They must invest a significant amount of time helping real estate broker owners offset and manage their risks. Here he is, John Bramlett. Hey, John.
Howdy, Bill.
From Stewart Insurance, by the way.
From Stewart Insurance.
Well, here we go. What a show. A lot of excitement here today, John.
Fantastic show. Excellent guests. Excellent guests.
Well, we have to leave that to our business development people for bringing super guests, people like Clarissa Mendez, Rachel Saunders, Maggie Green. They're tremendous.
We have the best BDOs in the market.
The A+++.
The A++ team, yes.
As we do with our relationships with Stewart Insurance, a super group of associates there as well.
Absolutely. We're very fortunate to have such a good relationship with all of our Stewart Title offices, but especially our home office here in Houston.
Well, John, as it's insurance time, once again, what do you want to talk about?
We're going to do a little errors and omissions story time.
Everybody loves that.
Everybody loves story time, especially when it's errors and omissions.
Well, let's begin.
Once
upon a time.
Once upon a time, there was a buyer's agent, and the buyer's agent was working with a married couple, and they were about to acquire a home. And the married couple called the buyer's agent and asked, is it a sewer system or is it a septic system? Now, this buyer's agent had not had the seller's disclosure document completed fully, so didn't have all that information. So the buyer's agent called the seller's agent, didn't speak directly with the seller's agent, just with an assistant in the office. And the assistant in the office said, "Oh, it's a sewer system." So during the contingency period, the couple again reached out to the buyer's agent and said, "We just want to confirm one more time that what type of system is it? Is it a septic system or is it a sewer system?" The buyer's agent said, "Oh, no. I've already talked to the seller's agent that it is a sewer system. Everything's fine." So the couple bought the home, and they found out it was a septic system. They found out that the septic system didn't work. They found out that in the neighborhood that they bought, that there were regulations that you had to have the systems evaluated and documented prior to the selling or purchase of a home. The new owners had to send out or place out a significant amount of money to replace and repair the septic system, which they did not want.
Well, because that's a whole nother ball of wax.
That's a whole nother ball of wax, and turned around and sued the buyer's agent for the $75,000 that it cost to replace the system. Let's think a little bit about story time. What's the moral of that story? One was that the buyer's agent didn't seek information directly from the resource. So where can I get that information to confirm it? The buyer's agent, in a sense, guaranteed that there's not an issue. And that's not something that we would ever want to do. And then thirdly, they completely overlooked that notification, that they completely overlooked the fact that there was a requirement in that market that they needed to take advantage of it. So those are some of the things that could cause a claim, cause a suit against a realtor, against a broker, because they did not, at least in the eyes of the buyer or the seller, did not do their professional duties, that they did not perform their duties as a realtor in a manner that best suited the buyer and or the seller.
So the buyer's agent already lost a follow-up sale, and they're being sued.
That is correct, and the broker's being sued.
Not good.
Not good. Not good.
Well, let me take the buyer's agent. If I were the buyer, the buyer's agent has so many details to worry about, and in that person's mind, perhaps, and again, we're just making stuff up here, that person's mind, they were saying, "Oh, well, most homes don't have a septic system, so I'm probably safe in saying it doesn't have a septic."
Well, it is, and like any profession, the details matter. As our boss, Tom Carpentier, says, hard decisions, easy life, easy decisions, hard life. So if you take the time to say, "I don't know, I need to go find out. I haven't got the seller's disclosure document completed. I will get that, and that will have the information for us. I wasn't able to connect with the buyer's agent or the seller's agent directly. Let me do so." Make sure that you understand that marketplace, that, especially if you're a realtor or a broker working in the Houston market, and it's so big and it's so diverse. I mean, we've talked about it today, the difference in the market from what you would see in Galveston versus Katy versus Cypress versus Conroe is significantly different. And understanding those markets and understanding what those different areas needs or neighborhoods needs and require is a huge responsibility.
Well, the other part of the moral of the story would be make sure the details are correct.
Absolutely.
So if you're a buyer or seller, make sure what you say is true. If you don't know, check it out. And like the title of our show here, real estate matters. I'm going to add real estate details matters.
Absolutely.
How about that?
It is. It is. I mean, if you take the time up front to understand that you document everything, that you realize that every type of correspondence is important, every type of responses are important, that if you take that mindset and you have that mindset, then you're there's a less of a chance that something like a suit's going to happen.
Need to be protected.
You need to be protected. And if a suit does happen and you have followed those procedures and you have documented everything and you can show the process and you can show the information that you shared and how you shared it and the counsel that you provided, then you've got a better chance of winning that claim.
Documentation.
Also,
it would be good to have insurance as well from Stewart Insurance.
Absolutely. That's one of the reasons that you would want to have an errors and omissions policy is, in a sense, it's a malpractice for business people. So doctors have malpractice in case they make a mistake. Business people need malpractice in case they make a mistake. Stewart Insurance has an errors and omissions coverage, and as does most every real estate broker. Real estate brokers have to have errors and omissions coverage to be licensed in the state of Texas.
Once again, documentation comes into play.
Documentation, communication, understanding the marketplace, truly being that counselor, because that's what the clients are leaning on, is their expectations that their realtor understands and is going to take care of them.
If I'm a real estate professional right now, one of the things, if I'm not already documenting and doing some of these things, I think I'd be writing more things down. As far as when I have a meeting with someone, certainly emails can be a trail and we could prove things with that. However, I would be making notes along the way, especially if I'm handling several transactions, because it could be very confusing.
Absolutely, and we have one of our CE classes that we teach is a real estate liability course, and we talk about the risks that brokers and realtors face and some of the ways that they can minimize those risks. And a good amount of that discussion is in and around the documentation aspect of it, that you document everything, you confirm everything, you don't assume that something may happen, you don't assume that somebody understands, you don't assume that the documentation has been delivered, you don't assume that a change order is accurate. So you document, you communicate, and you record.
That's one of the courses you teach, right?
Yes, that's one of the courses I teach, yes.
We'll remind listeners that you're teaching courses. If the real estate professionals, brokers out there listening right now, they can enlist your talents to teach these courses.
Absolutely. We have the one on the real estate liability that looks at, it's a 3-hour course that looks at the risks that realtors and brokers face, ways that they can minimize those risks, and then the insurance that can offset those risks. We have a 2-hour class called The Two Sides of Water. Insurance companies look at water damage two ways. Water damage is covered by a flood plan, and water damage is covered by a home plan. So we look at those two different plans, what they mean, how they're different, what's the differences in the two types of water damage. And then the last one is a property essentials for real estate professionals. And insurance companies look at residential property in 6 different ways, depending upon how the residential property is used. So we look at those and determine and share with our class what are the different insurance policies that need to be in place for that property, depending upon how it's used. Well, if you'd like to be properly insured, whether you're a real estate broker, an independent title and attorney agent, property management firm for your business, whether, errors and omissions, cyber liability, general liability, workers' compensation, commercial property, we can help you with that. If you're an individual or family and would like to be properly insured with your home insurance, your auto, your renter's insurance, flood, wind, motorcycle, we can help you with that. And you can reach us at 866-798-2827. That's 866-798-2827. You can learn more about us at Stewart Insurance you can email us at stewartinsurance@stewart.com, or you can visit us online at stewartinsurance.com.
And if someone wants you to teach one of the classes, they can reach you as well at that number.
They can reach me at that same number, 866-798-2827.
John, thanks for being with us again.
Bill, always a pleasure.
As we continue, it's now time to welcome again Brooke Thedford as we close the show. Brooke, with the last couple minutes, you want to leave a closing thought with everybody. What would that be?
Closing thought, man, I'm in a room full of some pretty amazing people. From our warranty reps to my fellow agents, I work with some outstanding people. And thank you so much, Tara, for inviting me today. And Bill, it was a pleasure meeting you.
It was awesome. And, it's that makes it fun. One of the things I noticed getting in the real estate world myself, 13 or so years ago, where I'm heavy into it, is that I found it to be more fun than a lot of other things because of the people and the things we're dealing with.
I saw a study, and real estate was one of the top 3 professions where people are the happiest, believe it or not. So
is that right?
Yes, that's true. I mean, that's what Google said, so I'm assuming it's true.
It must be right.
Yeah.
But I believe that.
Yeah.
That sounds like fun. All right, so let's tell people, once again, you are with your company.
Thedford Real Estate Group, brokered by eXp Realty, and you can contact me by calling or texting 832-477-1775. 832-477-1775.
Thank you so much for being with us. And now she is back, Faye Powell, Red and Company. So before we close things down here, let's tell people what else you want them to know about your company, Red and Company, or anything else.
Well, if you're looking to buy anywhere in the Houston area or in Galveston, we've got you covered. That includes investment buyers. We have a lot of those, both markets. So we're happy to help and find you whatever solution.
That's another whole other category, isn't it?
It absolutely is. Investment buyers and property management.
And that's where that great experience comes into play.
I hope so.
Faye Powell, let's tell people your number. Faye, how can they reach you?
You can reach me anytime by text or by phone call at 832-654-3293. That's 832-654-3293.
And thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
I hear there's still 210 home warranty people here, Morgan and Cheryl. Let's have a final word there on what's going on with home warranties.
Thank you so much, Bill, and everyone for having us. We just want to remind everybody that we're here. Our company truly does value doing the right thing, and so we hope to earn some business from some new agents, new title reps, and even just our clients that are out there listening. We hope that you guys have had a good experience with Cheryl and I, and we are always here to help.
And Cheryl, details are important in home warranty too, right?
They are, yes. And speaking of risk management, we do. We have a waiver in the back that does protect and waive if you offered the coverage. So, and it releases the agent and the brokerage and the broker.
Good point.
On the risk management side. So one of the 4 pillars of E&O and is home warranty.
How can people reach you, Cheryl?
Yes. So my number is 346-455-7620.
You are north of I-10.
Correct.
And Morgan is south.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm south, and my phone number is 832-654-4198.
All right. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Tara Hobbs, just because you're so much fun, and this is a rarity to see you here, what's a final thought? Super fun. Did you have a good time
Had a
here
blast.
today?
This is always fun.
Will you come back again and see us?
Absolutely.
Well, we appreciate that. Once again, you are the branch manager at Pearland, Texas.
Absolutely.
Let's say there's someone in Indiana that doesn't know where Pearland, Texas. What would you tell them? Where is it?
A little bit north of Alvin, which is a great place to live. That's where I'm from.
It's another place they probably don't know.
Well,
Okay.
hometown of Nolan Ryan. We're right there.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Good point. How can people reach your office in Pearland?
Our
Stewart
office-
Title.
Yes, sir. Our phone number to our office is 281-412-6900, and we are located in the Pearland office. But we do service everything in Brazoria County, Harris County, Galveston County, Fort Bend County, Montgomery County. We can keep going.
All right, no, let's stop
Okay.
there. But I will say this. This makes me want to buy a home just so I can close with you because I think it would just be done properly and we'd have a little fun along the way.
Well, everybody in this room can attest that I am a detailed person. So,
That's what we need
and
in
our
closing.
big thing in our office is we treat others how we want to be treated.
Systems and procedures. Thank you so much, Tara Hobbs. And special thanks to Clarissa Mendez, Rachel Saunders, Maggie Green for being the casting directors right here today on Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. I am your host, Bill Nampick, together with John Bramlett, Tom Carpentier, Justin Ramirez, Tara Hobbs, just because I like saying the name, and Larry Warren. We hope that you go to our website, stewart.com/radio. That's right, you could see the 5,000 people here in the studio, the smiles, everything else. That's right at stewart.com/radio. We will see you next week. Thanks for listening.